All right, guys. Mics are live.
Cool.
We are in it now. No more of whatever we were talking about just now.
Bone sauce.
Bone sauce.
Yeah, no more of that.
Oh, come on.
But while we're on the topic, since it is October, I was thinking...
What?
On
the
the topic
connection
of bone
there?
sauce.
you said since it's October...
Spooky October.
Yes.
I
You said since it's October... Do you want one? The box is here.
My bad.
And then something about milk.
He needs some.
Yes.
He did.
Since it is October, I was thinking next week we could each present
Forest fire.
Wildfires.
Prevent unprotected sex.
good luck.
Keep your bone sauce contained.
Present a mini topic over something spoopy.
Also, I'll be gone the week after that.
Yes.
A reminder. Yeah.
Yes, we're going to do it without you.
Yeah, can we just get...
No, I'm here
we
next
talked
week.
last episode.
No, yeah,
can we
I'm
just
just
get
joking.
Emily's mom?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
While
she
she's
will be
gone.
with me.
Why?
Her and I are taking a trip.
Nah, you can go.
Because we love each other.
Ah.
Mother-daughter bonding experience.
I don't know.
We're
What's
go
her name?
see some pretty trees. I'm not telling you. I'm just gonna.
I'm not telling you.
But yeah, no, I think that's a
doesn't
great
trust
idea.
me.
I think we should.
I have one in mind. I'm going to have to come up with a way to make that an overarching theme,
all
theme.
scary topics.
Yeah, but like this one's gonna be extra scary because he's gonna add sound effects to it.
I am.
Ah.
Me boy, me noi.
I was expecting you didn't do it.
I almost did it, but I was worried we were going to get copyright striked by Nickelodeon.
Because they're listening.
Just record it yourself.
Oh, I just did.
No, but I think that's good. Do you want to? We should talk about this. After.
Yeah, we'll talk about it
definitely.
after. No, let's go ahead and we'll run
glad
through.
we have
Actually, I'm going to get out
production
my
meetings.
planner.
Yeah.
And let's sit down and do this
I got
on
my
the show.
chalkboard in the
Nobody's
in the
got
car.
a planner.
I might have a planner.
Yeah, my ass.
I don't, clearly, by the way that I run my life, but still.
I feel it.
You ever watch, here we go. You ever watch Friends?
Nah, none
Can
of
you
us
explain
have.
the concept to me?
So the concept of Friends, I know this is new for you, is
That's fucked up.
he brought that on himself.
Bone sauce.
It's a show. It's a show
All
whose
about
working
bone sauce.
title was Insomnia Cafe, about 6 friends who spend a lot of time at a coffee shop. Which, for some reason in the 90s, was a new concept because Cheers had just wrapped, and everyone thought of friendship as only happening at bars.
Can confirm.
Bars.
Bars.
And so, anyway, in Friends, there's that old guy that lives upstairs, and he always, says a thing that's clearly not true, and then they call him on it, and he's like, it could be true. And he's like, you're disturbing my cats. And they're like, you don't have cats. And he's like, I can have cats. And then he walks away. That's what I felt like just then. Long story for no payoff. Let's go.
Introductions.
I'm Norman.
I'm Bone Sauce.
I don't know who I am then. I wanted to be bone sauce.
We could both be Bone Sauce, buddy.
I wanted to be bone sauce, then my second choice was Norman, so I'm screwed. I haven't thought of a third one yet.
That would just be Bone Sauce buddies.
Bone sauce buddies. The bone sauce.
Do we have a new item for our merch shop? I think we do.
It's a mug that just says bone sauce on it. Only for the use of milk.
I'm gonna make a whole design for Bone Sauce Buddies and strictly use it for string backpacks. That's gonna be the only thing you can get with that design.
Why?
I don't know.
I
Why
don't
not?
like that.
I'm making this up as I go.
Well, I'm Emily.
Oh,
I know. I tried really hard, but I've been up for too long
Wait,
today.
I thought I was Emily.
You're
Are you my
Norm.
doppelganger?
Okay.
That was my third choice.
And we have a special guest.
Hello, I'm Avery.
Avery's here. She's really quiet. You're on Bailey's mic.
Oh
You have
shit!
to yell.
Sorry, I can be loud, dog.
Okay, there we go.
Avery, do you
That's
want
better.
a cool nickname like Bone Sauce?
I would love a cool spooky nickname. I would adore a cool spooky nickname.
Bone Sauce it is. All 4 of us.
We got
We're
like an
all bone sauce. Are we like bone sauce?
4
Senior,
bone
junior,
sauces and
junior
Emily.
the second.
Bone sauces.
We're renaming the show. It is now called 4 Bone Sauces and Emily.
This sounds like bad.
This is terrible.
I don't think my mama's gonna like that.
A certain meme comes to mind. Let's continue.
What color is that couch?
like bone sauce colored.
Why?
All right. I'm going to put the song right there. All right, we're past it now, though.
All right, it's done.
No, we already took the break for the song, and then everyone stopped talking. So
Wait, hold on. You guys hear that? It's I think it's
why?
I think it's Emily's turn to tell us a tale.
Yay!
Yes, it is.
I think the last time I was on was
Spinny
Emily's.
yarn.
I think so too.
Cool. I'm also a guest.
Yeah,
Supposedly.
Technically.
Hey, I've missed a few.
yeah, but you're not a special.
Yeah,
guest.
but you're more like a...
My grades would tell you.
They're just trying to let you know you're not as special as I am, and it's okay.
You're more like an unreliable host than a guest.
like a backup host.
To this. That's not fair. I've been trying to record Channel 3 for the past month.
Something came up.
Emily, what you got for us?
Well, in the spirit of spooky Halloween,
In the spirit
October.
of spirits.
yes, actually.
Ooh.
Spirit Halloween store.
This episode is brought to you by Spirit Halloween.
Sponsor us. Somebody sponsor us. Blue Apron, please.
Please.
You know
so
you want me undies.
There's this movie. I don't know if you've heard of it. The Exorcist.
I'm familiar with movies.
No.
No,
Emily
Exorcist.
Rose?
What is it about?
No.
It sounds
Not
like a
that-
workout
it's a different
film.
Exorcist. Yes.
Which one's this one?
Was it one of those exercise food,
Dumb joke. I'm sorry.
It's about exercising. It's got,
like aerobics keto kind of thing?
Yeah.
Y'all seen Blue Exorcist though?
Oh, is
No.
that what we're talking about? That's not.
It's not scary.
Yeah.
Is
Isn't
that
that
like
an
The
anime?
Exorcist, but with
Yeah.
Paul Giamatti's character from Big Fat Liar the whole time?
What?
That was
Anyway.
a very obscure reference.
Oh, I got you.
Yes.
I got you. I also stayed up late watching Disney movies.
I just had that on VHS and I'd watch it all the time.
I also had it on
It's like,
VHS.
Frankie Muniz, I hope this guy never loses his memory.
You have to speak up. You're so
I'm
quiet.
trying! Can I turn my gain up or something? It's all... No, it's not. Yeah, it is. No, wait. There we go.
Yeah, it's better. A
Yeah, it
little
went
bit.
up a little bit.
Anyway,
So the movie
Frankie
was
Muniz.
released in 1973. It became an instant classic of the horror genre, and it is still in the top 10 highest grossing movies in United States history. Cinema history.
has everyone seen it?
It doesn't really matter if you have.
I don't think it's that good.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna agree with that one.
I really, really enjoy it. It makes you. It's not like a horror movie in the modern sense. There's a slow build.
Wasn't
and
Norman
then,
the
like-
one last time being like, you have to judge a movie based on the time period it was released in?
Sounds about right.
Even still, I watched it first time maybe 4 years ago. And
That's true, because you're like 16, so.
yeah.
Bro, wait, what?
No.
It's like you have a youthful glow, but not that youthful.
Grab a White Claw.
This episode's
yeah.
brought to you by White Claw.
I wish.
But I watched it freshman year. I really enjoyed it. It's got the slow build, and then just like some really disturbing aspects, which are just
Doesn't she like hardcore vom at one point?
yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah,
we'll
that
get
was-
to that actually.
What?
we'll get to that later.
Have you
so
seen?
gross.
Have you seen Scary Movie 2?
That's a no.
You remember the
You
beginning of
basically seen
that?
The Exorcist then.
That's
Yeah.
The Exorcist.
Yeah. No, I've seen The Exorcist. It's just
making out.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
I have not seen this movie.
We'll show
Don't
you.
think I need
You haven't
to.
seen Scary Movie 2?
we're gonna have to have a
Can you
movie
stop
night.
yelling at me?
This is weird. This is the second time I've talked about Scary Movie 2 today.
Shit.
It's weird.
Does that come
Why?
up often for you?
Yeah. Side.
Those days.
Anyway, so we know the movie,
Like,
obviously.
she's younger, but she's not that much younger.
But what you may not know is that it's based on a real story.
Yes, the exorcism of Emily Rose.
No, that's based on a different exorcism.
Quick, someone give me another exorcism movie.
The Exorcist 2?
The Exorcist 2.
Oh, there we go.
Exorcism Boogaloo? I'd watch it.
I'd watch it.
Cheech and Chong's The Exorcist 2.
I would watch that with even more enthusiasm.
Have you seen Evil Bong? Starring Tommy Chong?
Oh, let's not talk about
No, but I
Evil Bong.
really want
Yo,
to.
No.
it is so bad, but I love it. I have a copy if you'd like to watch it.
All right, we're getting off topic. Let's let
So,
Emily talk.
in mid-1949, a 14-year-old boy given the pseudonym Roland or Robbie Doe was allegedly a victim
related.
of demonic possession.
Doe.
Yeah.
That's not how I pronounce my last name.
No.
Shit.
Your last name is Goldstein.
Oh fuck! I wish. I don't know, religious background or something. I don't know.
And
I'm just trying to get offensive this podcast because the last one wasn't enough.
You're trying to
I'm gonna
Ethan
need you
out on
to.
us.
I'm gonna need you to talk over them.
I
Yeah.
have such a small voice.
That was so quiet.
So the story takes place near Cottage City, Maryland, near Georgetown, too. A diary was kept by one of the attending priests that documents the entire thing.
So lame.
So there's-
Kept a diary.
So there's first-hand
What
accounts
a nerd.
of this event that happened in 1949, which is one of the reasons we know so much about it and have so many details. It all started when...
Can I interject?
I wish you wouldn't,
I'm
but
sure
I know
you
you will.
Norman's the only one trying to rush through this.
I'm not trying to rush.
Norman show up an hour and a half late.
You
and
said
then
it high
let's get
pitched.
on it, Norman.
You said a high pitch. That's usually a
We
lie.
watched like 3 videos that had nothing to do with anything.
They had something to do with something. They were
What
bringing
is
to
your
light
interjection?
serious social
What's-
issues in our country, Norman.
Keep your dick fat.
I wasn't going to talk about that one, Bailey.
What was your
I forgot.
interjection?
I was going to...
Sweet. Let her go.
All right.
First-hand accounts aren't technically information. Okay.
What?
I'm just saying... Never mind.
nerd.
Anything's information.
I have to play the role that I've created for myself, which is hardcore skeptic here.
I think a diary like recount counts as like a primary source, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like...
No buts. Anyway,
You
and
keep your butt out.
It's a nice one.
it all started when Robbie's Aunt Harriet died.
Norman did a
sorry,
glance and
sorry.
then
I'm going to be
closed
very
his
clear. I
eyes.
was not laughing at that.
Right.
I was not laughing at that.
He did a quick glance and then was blinded by the majesty. Continue.
Anyway, so his aunt died, and strange things were happening around the house, such as unexplainable noises, things as big as furniture moving around on their own, and some objects such as vases flying or levitating when Robbie was nearby. The family, which was a Lutheran family, they turned to a local Lutheran priest, and he was like, all right, you're lying. How about he just come stay with me for a couple days? I'll see if this is true.
Yo, the Lutherans, they take things a lot differently. That's just true.
I wasn't going to say anything about religion and 14-year-old boys or anything like that.
This
Not
is the
at
Lutheran
all what
church.
I
This
was
is the
talking
about. Not at
Lutheran
all.
church. It's a different part.
Anyway.
Whale. So he had Robbie there for a couple days, and then he was like, all right, you guys should go see a Catholic priest. I don't want my furniture to keep floating. So that was his
I'm
recommendation.
going to refrain from saying anything now.
No, I think we're both.
Oh, are y'all talking about the 14-year-old boy?
No!
Oh, my bad.
That is a serious issue that should be highlighted, but no!
Sorry.
The floating furniture.
It's just him throwing shit.
Yeah!
Casually.
You see that vase fly
Casually.
across the room? Sorry. I just did a brief character there for a second of Robbie. Continue.
He doesn't sound like that to me.
So this is the beginning of the exorcisms. The first conductor of the exorcism was Edward Hughes, a Roman Catholic priest. He performed them in the Georgetown University Hospital, which is a Jesuit institution. Why are you...
It's practicing.
That
Is it
feels
north, south,
sacrilegious.
east, west, or north, south, west,
Feels-
east?
I grew up Baptist.
Anyways.
Anyway,
Anyway,
We're gonna
I'm
do
gonna
that a
cut
lot.
all that out.
that's for the best. So the Catholics definitely believe more in exorcisms and demons and stuff like that. So that is the catch to this hospital, is it is a Jesuit institution. So they were probably more likely to jump on the, yeah, this is a demon train.
It's me, your boy.
So during the first exorcism, Robbie slipped out of the restraints that they had him restrained to a hospital bed, because exorcisms are known to get a little dicey. A lot of writhing around,
Gotta roll
a
that
lot
crit.
of quick movements, a lot of spasms kind of thing. So they had him in restraints, and he managed to slip one of them, grab a bed spring from under the bed, and use it as a weapon. I found an interview with one of the priests that was there, or was friends with one of the other priests. It wasn't entirely clear from the article, but he said that everything I read confirmed that the kid slashed the priest from his shoulder to his wrist with that bed spring. And then the
That's
interview
a
I
big
heard was
slash.
saying that was 100 stitches, and they were done for the day.
I'd probably.
I think it's
clock
time to
out
call it a
then.
day.
We'll call it a day. Luckily, they were right in the hospital, so just a quick little.
Wait, they're doing this in a hospital?
That's what That's what I was saying earlier.
You said hospital
Are you
bed.
not listening?
Yeah, and
Those
I said,
move.
No,
I'm sorry,
Earlier, I
hold
said
on.
hospital. It's
What?
Georgetown University Hospital.
if it's I would assume if it's a hospital bed, you're probably in a hospital.
This
That's
ghost can
two
pick up
things.
couches and stuff. Like, you
Also,
don't think
once
a
again,
hospital
I
bed
did
could end up in
mention-
a house?
I even named the hospital 2 separate times now.
Wait, you saying he could pick up a hospital bed? Are you assuming that the ghost brought his own hospital bed with
Yes.
him? It's BYOHB. Bring your own hospital bed. Hospital
Sorry.
bed's not included with your stay.
At the hospital.
The hospital.
Yo, they're really not. You got to pay separate for that. It's a lot of money.
They don't have like hospital
Operate
bed
me on the
coverage in their
floor.
healthcare
I
plans.
didn't want a bed anyways.
Can I do this
me
in
a
the
pillow.
waiting room? Cut about $2,000 out of my bill.
So the next step for the family was to travel to St. Louis, and one of the reasons that I read that they chose St. Louis was that the word Louis had appeared on his chest. But what I'm really thinking happened was his brother was there and found and contacted a couple of his professors that were also priests, because it was a Catholic school.
Or he's a Cardinals fan.
There's several options. Yeah.
There's a lot.
So his cousin had
No one
contacted a
moves
pair
to
of priests.
Missouri on purpose. Let's just get that straight.
Why?
Have you been to Missouri?
Have you?
Yes. You got anything else?
Oh.
So
I think.
they contacted a pair of priests to observe the happenings themselves. Both are reported to have seen the flying objects, the boy speaking in a voice that seemed not to be his own, and the bed shaking violently seemingly on its own. One of
I
the
got
pair,
no comment.
sure, William S. Bodern, sought and was granted
Run that by me
permission.
again.
William S. Bodern, Bowdern.
B-O.
Bo darn. Bo darn it.
I think I got family with that last name.
Oh.
Tanner
Keep going.
Bodern.
It's just
So-
the Bodern way.
Bodern had sought and was granted permission by the Archbishop to perform an exorcism. And within the Catholic Church, you have to have that permission, otherwise it's not a sanctioned exorcism. You have to get that permission because you're supposed to be of a certain mindset and of a certain heart. And what are you guys? Okay.
Nothing. Keep going. We're listening.
So,
Bo darn, right?
I feel like I made a joke
kidding, I'm
that
sorry.
isn't going to stick, and I'd like to just clarify it real quick.
Could have just cut it out. But
Wait,
sure.
are you saying the kid
No, I'd
had to
prefer
have
to-
like
I'd
a
prefer to
certain
clarify.
mindset
Double
to
down.
go
No,
get
so it wasn't the kid. It was the priest performing the exorcism. They
Okay.
have to have. They can't just be half-hearted in it. They
Okay.
have to be like fully.
Hearted.
whole heart? They got to get their whole heart up in there.
Look, he's so proud of himself too.
So there's this movie, right?
No boy. No.
I'm a piss.
Stop talking about Joe Dirt, man. Nobody cares about that movie.
It's called Creature. It's
I've seen that.
It's a B movie
No, I haven't.
about
All right, I'm in.
about a family in Louisiana
Louisiana.
who prefer to mate within the family.
Isn't that an episode
That's
of
nasty.
X-Files?
As God intended.
And eventually they were unable to mate and
Norman.
produce children. I'm just powering through that. Because they preferred to mate within the family. But then one of them did get a child. But then the sister bride was eaten by an alligator. So he chased the
It
alligator
happens.
down into the swamp and then ate the alligator and also the undigested bits of his sister bride and
Right.
became an alligator man monster.
I don't
And
think
their
that's
last-
how it
That's where the
works.
creature comes from.
Their last name was Bodine. And throughout that movie, when people would be like, "Why do you sleep with your family?" They'd be like, "It's just the Bodine way."
No, that's not.
And so
that's not
that's-
a reason.
I feel like you didn't have to explain that. I'm glad you did, though.
Thank you.
Like, first rule of being a Bodine is that you gotta.
I
sleep
also
with
have a
your
copy of
sister.
this movie if anyone would like to watch it.
I sure would. I'm gonna be real. Yeah.
Yeah? Alright, it's up
I'm
there. It's in the
absolutely in.
C's.
I just
Are you
realized that your
verifying?
films
I
are
can
alphabetized.
confirm. Well, yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
I have this
second
problem
from the
where
left,
my
second from
eyes
the
are
right.
not good. So
Eyes are not good. Eyes are not good.
no, it's the first row. What
Norman,
are you
the C's
looking
are
for?
up top by the A's and B's.
You're in the K's.
Nuh-uh.
Looking for Joe Dirt.
I don't have Joe Dirt.
I was actually looking for Joe Dirt. I'm actually surprised you don't own a copy. I'll
Shit.
fix that for you.
I knew it. Bone sauce buddies, am I right?
Just the Bodine way.
So
that's just the bone sauce way.
Oh no. Check out our merch shop for just the Bone Sauce Way shirts.
No, they're mugs.
Everything is mugs.
So to be able to perform an exorcism, as I was explaining, you have to have that permission because if you aren't of the right mindset, if you're not really firm in your beliefs, and if you don't have, and like typically the archbishop, they can tell a little bit better, so that's why they have to give the permission. You can't just go into it and be like, yeah, God's probably real, let's get this demon out of here, because otherwise...
Man, that would make for a fun movie, though.
Otherwise, it wouldn't work.
Otherwise, it potentially wouldn't work, and you would put everyone in that situation, if you believe in all of this, in danger.
So no agnostic priests allowed.
Right, I would
There's a
say-
strong chance you need to get out of this child.
The power of Christ might compel you.
The evidence is mounting that this is not safe.
Mounting? Bro, disgusting. Stop.
Mounting.
I'm glad
it's the
they
bone
took the mic
sauce
away
way.
from you.
Bailey's going for like hardcore inappropriate this episode.
Oh God, he's got it back.
No, that was compared to when Ethan was here. That was
It's a
nothing.
little rough.
So for a following exorcism, because obviously that first one had
wasn't
to come
enough.
to an end.
I mean, what's a couple stitches when you're up against
100 stitches?
What's
a
100
couple
stitches?
A couple 50.
Yeah, a couple of 50 stitches.
For a following exorcism, a third priest was officially brought on. But some of the
Building their roster like the Yankees over there.
well, they so
Strong.
I was reading an article that had interviews and stuff
Are y'all
with
gonna watch the Exorcism draft this weekend?
Shut up.
You're so proud.
We got
of
Bill
it.
Bodine coming in. First pick.
Don't worry, Emily. I'm still here.
All right, demon, and next in the room, give it up for. And he just walks in with his fist up.
It's John Cena.
All right, let's keep going.
So one of the articles I was reading that had an interview.
Suplexes the demons out of him. I'm so sorry,
Joe
Emily.
Rogan to commentate
He's
on
going
that?
up. RKO!
Joe Rogan.
So one of the things
Every time.
That'd be a good cut.
So,
right there. That'd be a good cut.
It's probably just going to be cutting
Yeah,
this
hard
part
cut.
out
We
until
got
we
hard
get back
cut.
to it.
right now.
So are you guys
Look, we're good.
No, we're probably not, but you're good to go.
all right? So one of the things I was reading that according to the diary, there were always at least 4 or 5 priests. Another thing I had read said at least 6 or 7 at any given time, and that's not including his family. So there were witnesses to all of this. Actively working in the exorcisms were those 3 priests. From what I gathered, it was there were a lot of different sources saying a lot of different things, and a lot of it's been sensationalized over the years.
Why is that the loudest I've ever heard anybody open a White Claw?
It was for effect.
It worked.
Punctuate my next joke. But
Jesus, no.
I've already moved past it. Continue. So how many priests were on the bench and how many were on the field?
5 or 6.
It was at most 7. At
I also
least?
saw up to 9.
Oh, okay. At
Like
least 7.
it was a pretty big range, and I think it kind of depended on the days because this went on for months and months. And I'll get into
It's
why
a
in a
double
minute.
header.
So when are you going to get into that?
That's what they used to call me.
Eventually. So during the exorcism, it's reported that words like evil and hell and other strange markings would appear on Robbie's body. Another thing I found was a big X would appear on his chest, and they were
Like in the
theorizing that meant
X-Files.
that.
Or
What did you
DMX.
say?
Like in the X-Files. He's just calling for Deep Throat.
Or One Piece. Luffy has the big X.
No,
on his
you're right.
chest.
It wasn't Deep Throat.
What are you talking about?
That would apply
The
to
X-Files.
both of your statements.
No, Emily knows what I'm talking about. The X on the window.
She said on the chest.
It's the same thing. That's the window to the soul.
I'm pretty sure
the
that's not
fuck?
true.
I'm sorry, did you say the window is the window to the soul?
No, the chest is the window to the heart, Norman. I don't even know where you got
You
the
said
soul.
soul. You said soul.
I know I did, but I'm backing out of that now.
So they were theorizing that.
Please tell me what the X was for.
I'm literally in the middle of my sentence saying it.
The X was for Satan, Tanner.
Okay.
No,
X is-
they. Oh my god.
They were trying to get a hold of... Was it Skinner that the X was meant for, or Deep Throat?
The X represents what he's
Was
gonna be
Skinner
given
Deep
to
Throat?
you.
I haven't watched the first couple
Who?
seasons in a long time.
Welcome back to How Many Times Can We Interrupt Emily while she tries to do her fucking her topic.
Hey, Emily,
Popcorning
can you,
topic,
what is
Bailey.
what does the X
The
represent?
X stands. They were theorizing.
Sorry, I said the F word. I didn't mean it. I take it all back. Cuff.
So they were theorizing the X stood for 10, and 10 demons were inside of him.
That seems like a wild
No.
conclusion to jump to, just right off the bat.
All right,
little
what
cramped
else
in
could
there.
it mean? I don't think that X Files was
It
around
could just
quite
be
yet.
a X.
What was Robbie doing that he got 10 whole demons inside of him?
Like if you're
Like,
just
how do you end up with 10
if you're in a
demons
bathroom
inside
wall
of
with
you?
a
Premarital sex,
marker,
you know?
one of the first
I
things
was
that
just
pops
down
in your
by the
head is
river
just,
and 10 demons
X.
appeared inside of me.
Playing with Ouija. So like I see like in the show The Exorcist,
I don't
she
know.
gets
Is
the
X a
initial
vowel?
demons by playing with the Ouija board
Then
with her
it's a
aunt, and then when her aunt dies, because the Exorcist is like the book, which the movie is based on. The book is based on this kid, but they really wanted to keep the anonymity of this kid, so he changed around a couple of details, like it's
the gender.
Did
yes.
Ouija boards like
and the location and
exist
stuff.
way back in
He
the day?
turned
Yeah.
the kid into
Like
Emily
when
Rose.
Robbie was kicking around?
I think.
I have to repeat what Bailey
But I-
says because he doesn't have a microphone.
Like one of
Let me do a quick Google
Can
while
we,
they.
Yeah.
can we please refer to Ouija boards as the proper
Sorry,
name?
Luigi boards.
Luigi boards?
Yes, thank you.
Or Weggy boards?
You know, you said that like 3 times in the last episode.
I like
by
Gooigi
accident.
board.
I told you. Once it was in my head, that's it.
Like immediately after we had that talk, you were like, "So you wouldn't do a Luigi board?"
Yeah, so the Luigi boards were introduced in 1890. So it is possible, but also there's again like the show and the movie sensationalized. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's entirely true, but that is part of like the
But
lore
man.
around.
That
What'd you
theme
say?
song is a banger.
Wait, which one?
The Exorcist theme?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a banger.
So it's become part of the
It's a
lore
bop.
because of the movie, and a lot of the stuff kind of blends together, the movie and the book and the actual event.
I'm sorry. Did Norman not tell you when you came for the first episode that this was a comedy spin on dark material?
Who?
I'm sure the demons giggled at some point.
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, I remember that was pretty funny. Yeah.
Remember that time we did an X? They're still trying to figure that shit out.
Remember that time we wrote evil on his head? LMAO.
Remember that time 10 of us were in that 14-year-old boy?
Wait, is this the
Allegedly.
demons or the priests?
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hand the mic over
You-
after that one.
You broke
I'm
Emily.
not cutting that out.
Please cut that out.
I'm sorry, Mom.
I feel like Tanner should apologize
I think-
to his mom.
I think we should like just end every
Emily's
podcast
mom
with,
knows
"I'm sorry,
what she's
Mom."
in for as my fan club. She's behind me 100%.
Does your mom know
That's a
what
pretty
she's in
bold
for?
statement.
Have you ever talked to her?
No.
Okay.
We talk through this medium.
I love that you
I
just,
relay messages here, and they get sent back to me through Emily.
I love that you just already know that you and Emily's mom are best friends.
We're tight.
She hasn't disagreed, which is the problem.
Oh no.
She thinks it's funny.
I mean, I laughed.
She's playing with my emotions. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Maybe.
You gotta speak up.
No.
Get loud.
So, during this, the next exorcism, the bed would shake again, objects were thrown across the room with no one near them, and the boy even broke the nose of one of the priests that was helping. Yeah, what?
It's well known that priests have very weak noses. It's just science.
I would like you
I
Is
was
to
that
just-
like something
I
that they
was
check for at preschool?
just
They're like,
gonna
how weak is
ask.
your nose? Because if your nose is too strong, you
Exactly.
can't. You can't be a priest.
They can be deacons. but not priests.
Maybe even bishops.
The
but
first-
no priest.
You're good.
The first test is the Pope walks up and he's just like,
Pops you in the nose.
You're doing like a cat.
well,
You
no, he doesn't
saying
want to
that
break it.
the
He just
Pope
wants to
doesn't
test.
do it like a cat?
Well, look,
He's
you've
a
got
docile
a
old
lot
man.
of priests to get through. You get through it as quickly as possible.
Yeah. He's
Sometimes
probably
they
built a
slip through the
machine
cracks.
at this point.
I just don't feel like a
like
14-year-old
a wheel with hands on it. That just-
break my nose.
The machines.
Well, exactly. That like this supposedly like wasn't just the 14-year-old because to get a little extra weird.
Hold on.
Yep.
Do you want me to
When-
clarify my sigh first?
No.
Okay.
Kind of a little, but like it's not that important.
I just wonder, like, why are paranormal things always such dicks?
They're literally demons.
I mean, Satan's kind of a
How
dick,
come instead of
so-
making a mess, they're never just like, oh, look how
Talk to
spooky
him.
it is when I clean?
That's fucked up.
Because
I
God
gotta
said
tell
so.
you stories of the Stanley Hotel.
You know-
the place that's down the street from my mom's place. Like, there's a ghost there
Yeah,
that
tell me about that hotel.
she'll unpack your stuff for you when you get there.
That is so considerate of her.
Yeah. So
That's
like,
super nice.
Does she fold the shirts right? Because if she doesn't fold
Does
shirts
she have
right,
one of
I'm
those
not
things
about
from
it.
Old Navy where they...
Like one of the folding boards?
Yeah.
Nah, they don't use those at Old Navy, dog.
What, they don't?
I worked there. They
That
don't do
ruins
that.
the whole thing.
You have to do that by hand.
Oh,
thank you
man.
for censoring yourself.
That's worse than Amazon.
It's pretty bad.
So the supposedly when demons take over, like your body's not your own and you can't fully control it. It kind of, cause at any given time you're only using a fraction of your muscles, cause if you use it 100%, they can like tear off your bones and that's
It's
not good.
approximately 1/3.
I don't know science. What'd you say?
No.
Plus Ultra.
Oh.
I don't know.
One
I
third.
feel like maybe the priest was like just over exaggerating. Like he gets
Well,
popped in the nose by
also-
14-year-olds. Oh, it broke.
Also, if you,
he's strong as fuck.
If you got hit by a
He's using at least
14-year-old,
100% of his muscles right now.
if you got hit by a 14-year-old and it did break your nose, would you even be honest about that? You'd be like, "Oh, no, it's not bad."
It ain't broken.
That's
It's
fair.
bleeding,
That's
but I hit it.
Man,
I can't smell anything.
I'm
but
gonna
it's-
have
it's
to
fine, you know.
turn down the gain on this whole episode before I put it out.
If
We
a
are
14
loud tonight.
If a 14-year-old broke my nose, I would request that his mom ground him. Because that's rude.
That would
right
be
in the
fair.
middle of the Exorcist.
I would not eat. Oh, I mean, okay,
Listen.
if it's a possessed 14-year-old,
I know
I
he's
thought we were...
strapped, but he's not going anywhere.
I
When
thought
you get
that
out
we were
of
talking
this,
about your
you're
average
staying in this
14-year-old
room.
as like
Oh,
a
okay.
control subject.
Oh,
See, if like a demon child popped me in the nose and it broke it, I would not hold back. But like, nah.
nah.
No, I
But like,
would.
if a regular 14-year-old popped
I'ma
me in the
follow
nose and
that
broke
demon
it,
to
I
the
would
next
still not hold
14-year-old.
back, and I tell his mom on
I
him.
think
There
it's
you go.
because
Oh,
we're from
yeah.
America,
There we
but
go.
he said he's strapped, and I immediately thought he had a gun.
you didn't have a microphone for that. Do you want to repeat it?
Strapped gun.
Got it.
America.
Sick.
Just reference Childish Gambino for the rest of the story.
So what happened after that?
so eventually, everything.
He's referencing childish Gambino.
No, I could tell by the goofy dancing. I'm not saying.
dancing is
I'm not. Hold
I'm
on.
Harlem
I would like to
shaking.
clarify. I would like to. That's what I'm saying. I would like to clarify. I'm talking about his goofy dancing.
I'm Harlem shaking like he told me to, okay?
Yo, what is it, 2012?
So eventually, everything.
That's a reference for, like, basically just Bailey.
He's saying because he's white.
Because he says in the song, "White dudes Harlem
Oh,
shake.
don't explain it.
Why you laughing? 'Cause you Harlem shake."
Eventually, everything in the room came to a standstill, leaving an exhausted teenager, a broken and bruised priests. The men, however, declared the rite finished, and the boy cured. One of these priests even...
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
No context. No context needed.
Yeah.
It's all there.
Like, what else is new?
One of these priests even told a reporter later on that the boy went on to lead a rather ordinary life.
Did he really, though?
Well, I can't confirm. No one knows the true identity of this kid because... And, like, the interviews that I had seen with those priests, too, they were upset that the news got out at all. Because this was in newspapers in the area. And it, like, a book was written about it. And, they really didn't want the news to get out because this isn't something that the church likes to advertise. They kind of...
They're not
Yo,
like
we're not very
50%
good
off.
at this.
50% off your next exorcism if
Yeah.
you go to confession twice this week.
I mean, I feel like that would be the exact, like, on a promotional scale. I feel like that's the exact thing you want to, like, hey, this exorcism,
Look.
we got him.
Check it out. It worked eventually.
But...
Speaking of confession, have y'all seen that 30 Rock episode where he goes in and starts
What are you,
confessing?
me?
And the priest is like, I can't do this, and like walks out. I just imagine that's how confession would go for me. It'd be bad.
It's like peeking through the screen like, what is that, an anime tattoo? Nah, I'm out.
Sorry.
So my notes here got a little jumbled just because I kept finding more and more things that were really exciting to me. But,
Can you give us your Watch Mojo top 10 most exciting things about this?
Yes, if you have an extra 32 minutes to spare on it.
let me get into a lot of exposition of things that don't, like, they're kind of there, but they don't really relate, and a lot
Yeah.
of dumb jokes and about it, like, well, I sure wouldn't like to be them. Like,
Yeah.
Bro, you
That's
sound like
Watch
Watch Mojo already.
exactly. So, fast forward to
We may
1971.
have ruined our Watch Mojo sponsor.
I prefer what culture anyway.
I love I love white culture though. So fast forward to 1971. William Peter.
Who's your favorite what culture guy?
Say it. I will.
Is it Jules? You like
What did you
Jules,
say?
don't you?
You love what?
What culture?
Yeah.
What
It's
did
a
you say?
YouTube channel. What culture?
Oh.
What?
She's
culture?
a big fan of Jules the Southwest Savage.
Yeah.
It's the beard, isn't it?
J with a 0.
Sorry.
Nah, we just bonded. Y'all don't even know.
Fast
don't even
forward to 1971.
She's all nervous.
It was a great year.
Yeah?
None of us were
Tell
alive.
us about it, Norman.
Wait, what year?
Norman,
1971.
the senior editor on the podcast.
Hey, that's 3 years before my mom
That's
was
a new
born.
title.
I just
Not
made
relevant
it
at all.
a senior. I couldn't do.
Some shit about the early
Sorry, Mom.
special.
Oh yeah, not to out my mom's age or anything.
Same.
Norman's over here talking about picking up liver and rice at the cafeteria.
Where? What?
What?
Context?
I don't know. I need more old people
What?
stuff.
Liver.
Fast forward to 1971.
Great year.
Almost as good as 1970.
Let's go back through all
Not
the
as
jokes
cool as
again real quick.
1972.
Norman's
William
old,
Peter Blatty.
liver and rice.
William Peter Blatty publishes his latest project, The Exorcist, based on newspaper articles, interviews with many of those involved, and the diary of one of those priests. In it, he gives more details about the daily happenings of the boy's life, as well as insights of those that were involved.
The way that I know what you meant, but the way that came off was like the kid leads a normal life through the day. I picture him like, at the stove making some lunch, and then he
the
gets
thing
to
is,
his bed at night, and they're like, "Get out of him, demon!"
That with exorcisms, though, it isn't like a 24/7 like praying, and a lot of it calms down. There's
That's the way they made it seem in
there's
the
cycles,
movies.
right? Because that's how it is.
For our audio listeners, Bailey strapped himself in.
Ready
my
for the
couch.
exorcism. Honestly, what better place to have an
Why didn't they
exorcism
just-
than this couch?
Why didn't they just put an eviction note?
It's a good
on the
couch. I
kid's
stole it
chest?
from my mom.
An eviction notice?
Yeah, I mean they
Like, sorry, demons, you didn't pay rent. You gotta get out.
I start paying rent.
give them like 10
How
days
much-
to pack their stuff up.
How much would rent for a 14-year-old boy's body cost?
I don't know. That's the church.
I don't know why you picked this subject, knowing
Man, I'm getting so many
Tanner and
uses
Bailey.
out of that.
I don't either.
I'm trying really hard not to get sidetracked.
No,
but,
I
you know.
appreciate that, and I see the effort that you're making.
so hard.
Yeah.
Almost as hard as the priest. I'm sorry, Tanner's mom.
Got her.
Thank
Got
you.
her.
Thank you for
Welcome
taking
aboard.
over that joke.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to the dark side.
SS Bone Sauce. The
Welcome
boat.
to Bone Sauce.
I want to die.
We should do a spin-off of this spin-off podcast called Bone Sauce.
Bone sauce. Yo, I'm back in. What is up? Bone sauce buddy number 2 here.
Bone Sauce buddy number 1.
Anyway, one thing that he mentions in the book that lends credence to the whole thing is those witnesses. That there were 4 or 5 priests at least that all saw the floating objects. They all saw, like at one point, they saw a container of holy water just flung across the room.
Were they just playing Rush of Blood?
What?
Because it sounds just like Rush of Blood.
What is Rush of Blood?
The-
Not to get
It's
off
a
topic.
VR game.
Yo, what are you doing after this?
I guess we're playing Rush of Blood.
Not playing that. I will pee myself.
That's fine. Cool, so the last 10 minutes are now gone.
It's okay.
So, another detail he gives is how the boy's body would contort.
I
Like
bet
a pretzel?
he does.
So his heels would reach the back of his head.
Ooh, that's flexible.
Yeah, and that's
Hold
not
on, let me-
supposed to.
Yeah,
Yes,
do
please
yoga to do
demonstrate.
that.
Please demonstrate.
I would love to see you try.
No, you wouldn't. That would go very badly.
I could do it if I wanted to.
All right.
Bro.
Norman has proving ground.
I just don't want to. But I'll do it when I want to, though.
So we mentioned this earlier. That famous vomiting scene from the Exorcist movie
Yes.
is reported to have actually happened.
In a circle?
No,
Was that
that's
just
a
in Scary
different-
Movie too?
Mhm. Yep.
Oh, okay. My bad.
It's like a snipe vomit.
Oh, God.
Like Snipes, the bird?
Like 360 no scope
You ever been
projectile
snipe
vomit.
hunting?
I can't trust what you will and won't cut out.
Go ahead, Norman. Tell me a story. Spin me a yarn.
So,
I'm not gonna lie,
one
his
thing
dating life has
I
been hard to follow for
found-
years.
No, wait, I already said that. So, yeah, like I was saying, the priests, they weren't happy that the story got out at all, because that's not good publicity, I guess, for the church. Like, hey, demons can get you. It's also a very, like, taxing thing. Not a lot of priests ever get that approval. So, I guess spreading awareness of it in a way really makes it harder to take care of.
It probably also, like, brought forth a lot of, like, fake possessions, I guess.
There's
Not
that.
that, like,
Yo.
I'm saying possessions are real.
I was gonna-
But I bet a bunch of, like, moms were like, my daughter's being a
They-
viewer.
My daughter's
I found
possessed
weed
because
in
she
their
went out
room.
last night with
Yeah.
a bunch of boys
And my daughter would never.
to a rock and roll show.
Oh,
Bunch of
God,
dudes.
heathens.
She went and saw the Crickets last night. I cannot
Obscene.
believe it.
How dare she get the
Did
demons
you
out of her?
know that if I remember correctly, that's where the Beatles got their name?
They were the
A
Crickets.
band called the Crickets.
Oh, I was
Alright.
like, that's Buddy Holly, but yeah, I think you might be right.
I think that's right. I was thinking about that actually in the car this morning for some reason.
Bro, you should have spit that hot fact.
It was the first this morning.
Oh,
Yeah.
not the second this morning.
No.
All right.
I had to go to work twice today.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
So I did look up the process for an exorcism so that we could kind of go through.
I'm
Are we
very
gonna
excited
exorcise
to go
somebody?
to
We're
this.
not going to exercise anybody.
I volunteer
because-
as tribute.
I'm ready.
Well,
I got
none of
something
us-
inside me
Hold
that I
on, a
just
few
need
things.
to get
None
out.
of us are ordained priests. Number one, we don't have the permission of the
Technically,
Archbishop. Number two,
technically, I am an ordained minister.
are you an
Of the Church
ordained
of the Flying
priest
Spaghetti
of-
Monster?
No, it costs
The Catholic
money to
Church.
be FSM.
Does the Catholic Church accept just emails? Because I mean, that's a very.
I feel like they
No.
got it. It's
Here's-
2019.
Nah, here's the thing.
You think maybe we
It's the
just fax it in?
Catholic Church.
Here's what you didn't
They've been
consider.
a little
They're
stuck in their
Catholic.
ways for a couple minutes now.
Do you have any parchment? They accept parchment.
I don't know.
You need to, like, wax stamp on the back.
probably like train a bird or something.
Train a snipe.
I am ordained
Train.
under some church out of California, though. It means I can do weddings.
Yeah, you can't do exorcisms though.
That was
there's an
never
asterisk
expressly
there-
stated in what I
No,
signed.
you have to read the fine
He didn't
print.
sign a contract.
You have to read the fine print. It's always in the fine print.
I can do exorcisms out of the church of whatever church in California I am ordained under.
Once again,
That's just facts.
you can't for a myriad of
I mean,
reasons.
They're a couple hours behind us, right? We could call them and, like, double check.
2 hours.
Hey, listen, this is kind of
Yeah, it's 11 p.m. 11 p.m.
I
on the
need
West
to know
Coast.
if y'all are like
Hey.
the exorcism kind of
Exorcisms
church or
follow
like
no
not.
clock,
Dude,
alright?
this is where
They
you
could
cut
strike
in
whenever.
a phone call. Yeah,
I'm just gonna
So-
put a phone call filter over that.
yeah.
So I don't know if I finished my thought earlier about when
Probably
the things would happen, because like I said, it would take a long time. This one took about a year.
The 14-year-old boy to exercise him. Okay.
That's long.
It's a long time.
That's a long.
He wasn't
exorcism.
14 by the end of it. But it goes in cycles. It's not always the action.
So
it
did
would,
he get
it
like?
would lull kind of during the day, and then at night up to like, typically on a normal day, up to like 30 marks would appear on his body, and he was, what are you guys arguing about?
Nothing.
Okay.
Do you think they got like weekends off ever?
No.
They didn't have like a beach episode.
Hey, listen, I would do an exorcism this weekend, but Vampire
like-
Weekend is in town, and like I can't miss that.
ACLs this weekend. We
Hey, you want to take my
I
exorcism
already got
shift? I gotta go
tickets.
see this show.
I gotta
but yeah,
hit up
so
for
the-
that today.
I know.
the action would really ramp up at nighttime, so they would be able to rest some, but
The
it was
freaks
kind
come
of
out at night.
by the will of the supposed demons, So
Do you think the demons took shifts?
There's
Yo,
10 of them, yeah.
If there were 10 of them, it would be nonstop. Like, you imagine 10 demons in one body trying to clock 40-hour weeks? It just wouldn't end.
Well, but
like it lulled in the daytime.
My
so
theory is like
demons got a nap.
Like
All 10
they're
of them?
not just hanging out in one body. They can hang out in several.
So, like, it's like 10, but, like, sometimes they'll just kind of leave. Like, I'll be back.
Yeah. That's kind of one of my theories. But
Hey, man, I'm running to the corner store. You need anything?
I'm going to 7-Eleven for some Cheetos. You want a Slurpee?
Bring back some claws.
Get some claws.
So,
We're gonna party in this 14-year-old tonight. Sorry.
So I looked
so
up.
much of this is gonna be cut
Sorry.
out.
Hey, Emily, what did you look up?
I looked up the simplified version of how to do an exorcism. It is from
Was
Wikipedia.
it like a WikiHow?
No, it's just from Wikipedia.
I want to see the WikiHow pictures for it when it gets made, though.
Go to
I will look into
r/Disney
that.
World. No, Disney Vacation. That's the one.
The WikiHow article for that?
Reddit.com
Yeah.
and then /r/Disney Vacation is a subreddit dedicated to people taking WikiHow pictures out of context.
Perfect.
Okay, I'm in.
Actually
So
really
one, the priest has to get granted the permission from the archbishop.
Right.
2, they typically restrain the victim.
Naturally.
So to keep from hurting themselves and others. Doesn't always work.
Where do you think they practice that?
Yeah, I mean, after that bed spring incident.
Which one?
With the 100 stitches.
The Catholic priest recites certain prayers, Our Father, Hail Mary, and the...
Man, those are their favorites.
I wasn't even done with my son.
Oh, my bad.
With my list. It's going to take me a second because I don't know how to pronounce this, but the Athanasian Creed? Athanasian? It's got 2 A's. It's got 3 A's. It's got 4 A's.
Appalachian.
That's a mountain range.
The mountain creed.
Why are you looking at me like
Mount
I'm the one who
Range
said
and
that?
a prayer.
Hold on, let me look at it. I want to see this word. I'm not going to read the rest of your notes.
Sure.
I promise.
It's like the... I don't even know what line.
Good lord.
What of it?
Now I want to see this word.
Athanasian. Yeah, I don't know.
It just says,
Where is it?
So a
Just
creed
a whole bunch of
of
text
Catholic
of like,
priests.
all work and no play makes Emily a dull girl.
The procedure here changes based on the priest and the situation, but there is an official guideline published by the Catholic Church.
I'm going to take that away from you.
Stop.
Avery, get that off his wrist. It is crucial that we get that off his wrist.
Are you doing
No, I'm not.
unjust
Norman.
things
No,
with the
I-
thing
He's
on your
doing
wrist?
he's doing regret face Bailey things on his watch.
Don't do regret face Bailey things. Hold this mic. You take this mic. Occupy your hands with it.
y'all want some combos?
Bailey needs some. Take this mic. Do things
What is
with it.
combos?
You never had a combo?
You never had
Time
combos?
to try out some combos.
Spicy sriracha, my dude.
Oh.
No, honey sriracha. Same deal, whatever. It's like cheese in the middle.
So
Give me back my
there
wallet.
is an official. Okay. Yeah, but like this is a question for the group. I finally have an interactive portion.
Steal his mic.
I'm part of the group.
Steal Tanner's mic.
Cool. So the Catholic Church does publish an official guideline to exorcism. Does anybody want to take a guess on when it was last updated?
Oh, I got this.
1972.
We was almost there. Well, no, okay. I'm
My
gonna go.
microphone fell in the White Claw box.
I'm gonna go
I
with.
think it was.
I'm gonna
put
go
there
with
intentionally.
like 1893.
Okay.
Yo. No.
When was it updated, Emily?
Let's see.
Well, I need Tanner to make a guess, but he's not even listening.
No. That's not what you pay me for.
I didn't pay for it.
I was gonna say, what does he pay you with?
Sex.
Ooh.
Tanner, when do you think they last updated the official Catholic guidelines for exorcisms?
1492.
I feel like you're a bit off, but hey, man.
Hey,
Whoever goes over.
Whoa, wait, is this Price is Right style?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, shoot.
What's the prize? Is it a White Claw?
Well, you all lose. It was 1999.
He didn't go over. Bailey was the closest. I said 1972.
Bailey wins. There's no more White Claws.
Yeah, he said 71.
Yeah.
Oh, we
I
got,
said 71.
we got his
Bailey
wine.
wins.
Okay,
Yes,
Bailey
I
wins.
Oh.
Hey.
Clank you.
Anyway, what year did you say?
1999 was the last time
Oh, that
they
was a
updated
good
it.
year. That was the year Tarzan actually came out.
A fine vintage.
For those of you who listen to every episode.
I feel like I've heard you talk
So our
about
moms-
Tarzan like more than 3 times today.
Oh, don't you start pulling that.
He texted our group chat earlier this week
About Tarzan?
about Tarzan.
Also, apparently
There was a
Tanner
White Claw
wasn't just
story.
playing Mousetrap.
Yeah.
No, I sent y'all a picture of the real
Why
game.
are you looking at me? I was the one that wasn't arguing with you last week.
There's definitely me.
He's
I was-
really hostile
Because
about it.
you're across from me and Norman's all the way down there.
I am feeling attacked. Anyway, so no matter what, the exorcism must be completed. If it isn't, the demon may attach itself to the one performing the rites and worsen the situation drastically. This means whether it takes minutes, hours, weeks, or months, or even a year, it cannot be left incomplete. But at the same time, because it was kind of confusing, because obviously the man that got his arm slashed did not succeed. So I looked into it. You can finish an exorcism without it being successful. It just...
So how do they know the kid left a normal life and
I'm
wasn't just
kinda
quiet
done.
about his, demons partying up in his business?
his parents were like, no, everything's
okay.
cool now. But
What?
yeah, that's
No.
why his took a year. Obviously...
What was it? The action completed. No, the action failed successfully. There we go.
So obviously not all has been not everyone has accepted this. I was reading a quote from one guy who wrote a book trying to debunk the whole thing. And the quote was something like,
I'd like to hear more from this book.
I didn't
In the
really
interest of fairness.
I didn't really look into it because I didn't want to, because that's boring.
No.
But I'm going to
Really?
give you a vague quote. I'm going to paraphrase a quote that I read
Yeah,
on Wikipedia.
yeah.
It thank you.
I don't believe in exorcism.
That's
Are you doing an
you.
impression of yourself?
Oh.
Snap.
Snap. Y'all
Got
got
him.
me. Oh, man. Y'all got me. Now I feel bad for having science and reason and logic.
All
should.
right. Anyway,
This is the episode where the Catholic Church rules and science and reason are out. This is exorcisms, dogs.
so the quote was something like the kid got the attention that he was craving. The
For a
parents
year?
got
Yeah,
well,
how
but,
does
like
he
I'm not
explain,
saying.
like-
Hold on.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Now
paraphrase
I'm
the quote, and
deeply
then I'll say
offended
why
by what
I
you've
think it's silly.
paraphrased.
I promise
Okay.
I will let you finish this quote without interrupting you.
I do not believe you, but I appreciate the effort.
I make no such promise.
I know. So the kid got the attention he wanted. His parents got a solution to the problem they were having with him. The priests automatically assumed it was it was demons or possession. The hospital assumed it was mental illness, and Hollywood got to profit off of all of it.
Nice.
So that was his reasoning for like, yeah, this could all very easily be fake because all of these things worked in, like, good
Harmony.
things happened, yeah, from these different things.
I got you.
I want to
We're
know
on the
what this
same
guy says
wavelength.
about the floating
Almost like
furniture,
I'm-
though.
never
Like,
mind.
how do you explain a
He-
14-year-old
he
eating
just
a
says
couch
they were-
from the other side of the room?
He just
How
says
does he
they were making
explain
it
a
up.
14-year-old breaking a grown man's nose?
That's what. Look, I'm on your side with that. Like, there's a lot to it. He says,
He's a
"Oh,
beefy
there's no."
14-year-old.
He went through records and said there were no records of like certain things happening. But at the same time, and that so much has been sensationalized over time that even when the people were talking to each other, it's like, okay, maybe someone bumped something over there and is moving for a second. Oh, now telephone game, even with each other. It's like, oh yeah, you remember when that flew across the room?
You remember that time the
at
dresser just
same
flew
time,
across the
that
room?
That seems like a big event. And like you can create false memories, but with such a big group, I feel like it would be difficult. Like I said earlier, there were up to 9 priests at any given time. There are at least 3 or 4 family members at any given time.
Have you ever heard of the period of time where a whole bunch, like hundreds of children, came forward to confess that their parents were part of a demonic cult that sacrificed babies and had sex
But wasn't
with
that from
children?
like a TV show?
No. It was from...
It was an episode of South Park.
It was
like that.
Well, that's
also
not
an
what I
episode
meant.
of South Park. But it was from therapists not using a scientific approach and from suggesting things to their patients, which made them believe the things that they were being suggested, and it ballooned into this whole event.
Sure, but a lot of these
and
were adults.
eventually-
There was the kid, but the
No,
rest
but
of them were
it
adults
doesn't matter.
too.
Every time you remember something, you're remembering the last time you remembered it.
Yeah.
Memory is a very
Well,
fragile
you're creating a new memory.
This is
Yeah.
this is if you've ever been through any like robbery training, let's say like you're working someplace that gets robbed,
Can't relate.
until the police come, you're not supposed to talk about it, because if I start talking about what the person looked like, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, maybe he did look like that. Yeah, he looked like that. That's the exact thing I saw. While they could have seen something else.
Ironically, when I did get robbed,
Oh, okay.
me and the guy I was working with, we didn't talk about it or anything, but we both said, oh yeah, he was wearing a blue hoodie. He was not wearing a blue hoodie, so whatever. Like, that was weird. But that's
colors are hard.
to say, I feel like you would remember more a bed floating and things being thrown across the room when no one was next to them for a year? Because for maybe 1 or 2 nights, like high stress, not sleeping a lot, but a year is a long time.
All I'm saying is having 10 priests in your 14-year-old's bedroom is high stress.
Yes.
Are you going to make a joke of it, or are you just going to...
Nah, that
think
was
that
a
was
joke.
the
10
joke?
priests, 14-year-old boy, and 10 demons.
1 year. What could go wrong?
1 year.
Is that the
a
new
new reality
season
show.
of Love Island?
I wish.
Anyway, of course, you know what I think.
Well,
Let's move on.
So, Norm, where are you at with this?
on this,
With this specific story?
I mean, no.
There are many mental illnesses and combinations of mental illnesses that can mimic the signs of a demonic possession.
Now I want to be like, because this is a subject that not only is talking about supernatural, but also talking about religion. So I think that's one thing we should be careful on. But as far as the stories or the recollections or the diary entries, I'm like, dog, come on.
Am I supposed to read every diary that comes along? Am I supposed to believe
That's what I do in Skyrim.
all of them? Did you read Bridget Jones's? It was meh.
So, Tanner, we know where you sit on it. Bailey, what about you?
I don't believe that it's real, but it would be cool if it was.
Hot take.
How many? So I would love to see a chart, and I assume that the Catholic Church probably keeps that very private.
It's very difficult to find anything about exorcisms.
Right, because I was like, I would love to
Yeah.
see the rise and maybe fall of like how many exorcisms per year.
Yeah.
And as society
Versus
goes
how
on.
popular cameras were.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
Sure.
We add that on. Data
I
is
think
beautiful.
There are like supposed videos.
That's
of it
also a
online and
great
stuff.
subreddit.
And there's also like the exorcism of Annalise Michel, who's the inspiration for exorcism of Emily Rose and Requiem.
Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah, because you have said it like 7 times today.
I think I said it like 7 times.
like,
I don't think
there
Norman
is-
ever said it.
I said
There
that.
are recordings of her speaking in different voices and stuff, but
Have you ever gone to a black?
I can
church?
do with some impressions.
Emily.
no, I have not.
You ever check out videos of, I mean, I guess they also do it in like white churches, but check out videos of
I'm gonna
people
go ahead and
speaking in
say-
tongues.
Oh yeah, I went
Yeah.
to one of those churches.
Have you ever seen that video of what is
Beans,
that?
greens, potatoes, tomatoes.
No, not the
Pamphlet.
Thanksgiving song.
I was just shown that for the first time like 2 weeks ago.
I was going to do... It's a video of that Drowning Pool song set to this preacher in like a mega church. I'm going to have to find it after this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure I will. Anyway, continue.
So where are you at on this?
I feel like I want to go back and like, I don't know, if there's like a Cliff Notes of the diary and a Cliff Notes of
there
like,
is
the
literally
book
a book,
refuting
yeah.
it. Like, I don't know. Part of me feels like a year and like that many people, there's got to be some truth to it. But I also can see how the truth could be like distorted and it could like totally not be demons.
What was the compensation? Was there a compensation for exercising this child?
You don't have to pay for exorcisms.
It was totally free.
It's just going to be
Yeah.
all up
So
in
I can-
God's business afterwards, I'm sure.
And like the priest, he was like fasting every day. He was only eating water and bread.
Eating water and bread.
Well, that's
Drinking
not
water
fasting.
and eating bread. Well, he was fasting from real food for all that whole time. And
If you want to do
his
fasting,
family was saying that
you
he
have to
looked
stick
awful.
to 0-calorie things. Black coffee, tea with no sugar, diet
He
sodas,
was eating.
or water.
He was taking
That's
of
it.
the Lord's body and the Lord's blood. You
Well,
know
that's
how it
wine.
is.
The Lord's blood isn't water, it's wine.
And
Yeah,
that's
I don't really
calories.
remember.
And
But I
that's
don't
got
think,
calories.
But number two,
Look, he's never
Number
going to
Turned
two-
get
into
cut.
wine when you drank it. And
number two, I don't know how much you can drink while trying to perform exorcisms. You do need
I
water.
imagine it's
I
a
feel
fair
like you
bit.
need like a stiff drink after a long day of exercising.
remember that time we
Actually-
exercised that
Out of
14-year-old kid? We got
14-year-old boy.
plastered.
Actually, one of the priests did quit drinking for a long time after the
That-
exorcisms, because the kid at one point turned to him and said in like a really demonic voice and had just a look of that. He said, "You're gonna die in the next 10 years." To one of these priests that was like 20.
I mean, it was like
25.
1941. He was probably right.
Did he die in the next 10 years?
No, but what may have contributed to that because he was an alcoholic and he quit drinking that night. So
See, like,
That may have
things like
contributed
that
to
make
it.
me think, yeah, demons, but also the fact that he didn't die makes me think, maybe not.
I can do impressions.
But also,
and
they
yell
are trying to
crazy
throw
things
a-
at people.
right.
My impressions don't include demon. I can probably do a good Robin
can't
Williams and
impersonate a
yell
demon.
crazy things at
What are
people.
the chances we can get Tanner exercise for free?
I wouldn't say very high.
You're never going to get the Robin Williams out of me.
Wait, are you suggesting?
Oh!
Are you suggesting Robin
stop.
Williams
Scatter stream of references.
stop.
Ho ho!
came back?
One good one for every 10. Ho ho!
I had a point that I was going to make and I lost it with Robin Williams.
I have more impressions.
No, I don't want
It's
them.
not limited to just Robin Williams.
I know
I've
that.
heard
and
I do
don't-
a great Snoop Dogg. I'm not going to do it now.
That's
for the
unfortunate because I
best.
really want to see it.
I feel like you have one phrase that you just say for Snoop Dogg's impression.
No, it's just me taking my natural mellow vibe and just turning that up to 11.
Okay.
Wouldn't it be turning it down?
No, up to 11.
Turning it down
No,
to like
no,
negative
but, like,
11
yeah.
because you're
No,
getting more chill.
But you see, a regular speaker only goes up to 10.
This is
Is
not
this your
Spinal
Snoop
Tap.
Dogg?
No,
No, this is Spinal Tap.
Oh.
But this isn't Spinal Tap.
I had something else I was going to say and I totally lost it.
I'm
My
sorry.
bad.
I feel like Robin Williams tends to do that to people.
Anyway, what's your best Robin Williams impression?
I'm not going to. That's okay.
Oh,
Oh, you should totally just edit in a line from the genie.
actual Robin Williams.
Good morning, Vietnam. You just hear that. That was my impression. Thank you, everybody.
You have to
That was
drag out
beautiful.
the good though.
Right, no, you're going to edit it in for me, so I don't have to just exert that energy right now.
No, what I'm going to do is edit yours into the film Good Morning Vietnam
Good morning, Vietnam.
and release that on Patreon.
Very high energy.
You should have seen me this morning. I was not happy. If anyone had said good morning to me, I would have cried. I was just so tired.
Anyway,
So is that what you have? I don't know if you
Yeah,
have
that's
more.
the end of my notes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. And then
no, we're
I
just
brought
riffing
up
for the next.
I feel like I've learned
10
so much
minutes or
about
so.
like The Exorcist.
Yeah,
And, like,
yeah. It's definitely like a lot of the movie is sensationalized, but a lot of it also comes from reality. A lot of
really
the
cool.
weirder things comes from like the vomiting.
Yeah.
That supposedly really happened.
I really like hearing that like pop culture things are rooted in like
Yeah.
actual things. Like I love when, not to like point out a you know, like when American Horror Story has like actual like
the
factual
last
stuff behind
episode
it.
I
It's
did
like,
was also it was a slasher based on real life.
that's so cool.
Oh,
I've learned so much.
I just opened my text messages and saw a selfie of someone, and then I was like,
mom.
"That's your mom."
You asked for a picture of her earlier so you could put it on a shirt. I didn't
I'm
just
gonna have
randomly send you a picture
Hey,
of someone that no
how you doing?
stop.
It's a great Joey impression.
Thank you.
So we're at 4 different impersonations now.
Anyway,
I
think that was 3.
think that
Spinal Tap, Robin Williams,
exorcisms.
Snoop Dogg,
Oh, I didn't even realize I did a Spinal Tap. Oh man, I'm versatile, guys.
I'm
How was
kind
the
of,
British accent?
That was your British accent?
Yeah, so,
I was gonna say, maybe
Emily-
keep that one off the repertoire.
Emily, what's your thoughts on exorcisms?
I think that they're kind of. I'm in a weird spot because I am a religious person and I do believe in demons and I do believe in exorcisms, but I also believe in mental health. And I know, like, with the case of Annalise Michelle, like, a lot of that was like, I don't know, that seems pretty.
When did that happen?
Pretty fishy.
Just off the top of your head.
Now.
Was that back in the time
5
period
minutes
where
ago.
every time women started acting weird, they were like, ah.
I think it was a little after that.
That's called the witch trials.
I'd also like to see
That's called the witch trials up to like 1985.
I'd also like to see a graph of like males versus.
It was in
women
the. It
that
was
finished
right
first.
after
That would
this.
be
It was in
really
the
cool to
70s.
see this.
In the
76.
70s?
I was like, yeah.
So that was like right at the end of like, oh, she's just hysterical.
Or sorry, this wasn't after. This was
You
right
know-
after the movie.
Yes.
So
You know, the word hysterical is rooted in like the Greek
Yes.
word for uterus. I learned that the other day. It
That's
made
why
me
a
angry.
hysterectomy is called what it is.
Yeah. Everything clicked into place when I learned that.
Yeah, but like I think this situation is definitely one of those that. Well, and another thing is they tried so hard to keep this under wraps. I'm just wondering what hasn't come out too,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
because the Catholic Church, they can hide some stuff, and they got
Yeah.
some
Some
other
stuff.
They
They're
got
up
well,
there-
hold on,
they're
hold on.
up there with
They got-
Scientology.
yeah, they've got like it's not a perfect system.
Not on like a crazy scale,
For
like on
sure.
a being
Right,
able to
no.
protect their own scale.
No, for sure. Like they have archives that you cannot get into.
Yeah.
So
Psh, maybe you.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
would
he
love
got
to see you
connections
try.
at the Vatican.
Norman,
Let's go to the Vatican.
me and you, we're gonna go to Rome.
Yeah.
What about me?
We'll do like a special Wi-Fi
Well, no,
episode
we're doing
from the
like
Vatican.
we're doing like a Super Thieves kind of thing.
This is only for the.
Talking about like black beanies, like the
Okay.
whole 9
This
yards.
is the Bone Sauce Boys.
Yes,
Bone sauce heist.
Bailey's coming. He just doesn't know.
But like, because I didn't grow up Catholic at all, but I still believe in most of the same stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that this situation was probably real, and I think also definitely sensationalized over the years.
Yeah.
Can I?
And I also like it might have not even taken a whole year. It may have just taken a few months. It was different everywhere I read, and I read articles that they cited the newspaper, they cited the book, they cited the interviews, and everything was a little bit different.
Yeah.
So everyone kind of has their own agenda with the story. Yes, Norman.
So, are there exorcisms in other religions? Like, anytime I hear exorcism, I only hear in the Catholic Church.
It depends. Yes, but it's not the same kind of thing that you might think. It's not like the
I
same.
don't think of anything. So.
Well, okay, it's not just like a Catholic exorcism. They're different in different religions. So, but
Like I've seen of I don't know what a religion is, but like it might not even be like a religion, but you take some sage, you burn it to like ward the spirits away.
sure,
which is
there
an
are
exorcism,
different things like that.
Yeah.
There's different things in lots of different lore and a lot of different religions
Uh-huh.
of warding off evil spirits. They don't necessarily call them demons, but I feel like most religions, if not all of them, have that evil, and they have a way to get rid of the evil. I can't necessarily think of any off the top of my head, but I do know there's a lot of evil in the world in general.
Yeah.
Maybe the easiest way to explain it is to just put a name on it, like, oh, that was demons. It wasn't just that my kid is acting up and he's a bully at school, and he got in trouble, and now he's like, oh, it was demons. Like,
That was a voice.
it was.
So is that your Robin Williams?
I still want to try like an at-home exorcism. Like I know it's probably a bad idea, but
that
like,
is how you get demons.
Yeah, but
I mean, what's the,
you know,
the worst that can happen. You know what
worst.
happened at the end of Annalise Michelle's exorcism?
Didn't
She
see it.
died.
Did see it?
ooh,
Well, that's not a movie. Like there are movies based on it, but like she
But
died.
I didn't see it.
But that was also probably due to neglect and.
Right, yeah, just
Stuff
you
from
can
the-
exercise
so if we don't
me, just
neglect
don't
people
me.
when we exercise them,
I'm just
give me
saying.
some-
we just
you
gotta
don't
find like a
necessarily
demon
want-
possessed.
You don't necessarily
individual.
want
Tanner.
demons in you.
Tanner does.
He's got
Tanner
Robin
doesn't, he
Williams
doesn't
in
believe him. They can't possess him if he doesn't believe him.
Is that true?
For these purposes, yeah.
it. Sure.
All right.
But yeah, I think it's probably happened, but not to the extent that it's reported.
I think that like yeah, I feel like I can side with that. I what was it? CGP Grey put out a video recently about how Staten Island became like owned by New York, I think it was. And there's like all this history behind it, but like none of it lines up, and all of it was like cutesy tales that had gotten like dressed
Yeah.
up and like sensationalized over the
It's
years,
very
and like
easy for that to happen when
Yeah.
there's a movie, and then
yeah,
a couple of very bad sequels, and
yeah.
Hey,
What?
I feel like you can't judge until you've seen all of them.
The exorcism.
Have you seen
I
all
watched
of
a
them?
review of all of them this week. The
No,
first
I
one
haven't seen 'em all.
was
You
good, and the
prepared?
other, yeah. Well, I've always known like this is based on a true story, and I've always wanted to look into it a little
I
bit
think
more.
I saw. No, I was gonna say I think I
But
saw
also
the
I really
Haunting
wanna
of
watch that
Emily
movie.
or the Exorcism of Emily Rose. Mm-hmm. But I did not. I saw the Haunting of Molly Hartley.
That's
which
based
was
on
a
something completely
very
different,
different
but there is
movie.
another girl. So good job. You can't differentiate women.
I've seen the.
Whoa!
I've
I
seen,
feel like that's a different thing.
I've seen the
Then you
haunting
know all
of
women
Steve
look
Harvey.
exactly alike.
It's just a really bad.
talking about that
episode of,
mustache?
I've seen the haunting of Steve Harvey. It's just a really bad episode.
Say the haunting of Steve Harvey.
Yeah,
It's all about facial hair and
What?
really
Is
offensive
his mustache
things.
possessed?
I don't
Because
think
that's
I wanna see
I
No,
would
it's
want
just a
that.
really bad episode of
I'm
Come
only
on,
half
bro.
gay and I don't have a beard.
I'm gonna cut most of that out, but Steve Harvey is a really offensive dude.
He is.
That's unfortunate because he's hilarious on Family Feud.
Oh, look who's back from the dead.
We exorcised him.
Speaking of exorcisms,
But yeah, that is the true story behind.
Sorry.
Or at least the supposedly true story behind The Exorcist.
Cool. So I think we all fall under the nah.
Nah /
Not
maybe.
me. I'm under the
hard nah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got 1, 2,
But obviously.
3, 4 nas.
I don't know.
She's in between.
I feel like
She counts as
Meh?
other. It's a tie.
I
I'm
feel
gonna take
like I feel like I can't say yes or no one way or the other just because like one, I haven't done my own like research on it, and I feel like there's a lot more like information to dig up
Right.
on it.
And there's
and I feel
a
like-
whole book on it. There's a few books on it.
And I feel like they
And
totally
a film.
conducted an exorcism,
Right.
but like the inconsistencies with how long it lasted and like the inconsistencies and like what actually went down.
Right.
Like, you know, a kid doesn't just like maim a priest and give him 100 stitches for no reason. So like if it wasn't demons, then like I want to know what
What his deal was.
psychologists nowadays would have like diagnosed him
Right.
with. Like,
Paranoid schizophrenic,
really?
probably.
That would be one of the things probably.
Tanner's
But, like-
psychiatrist.
I'm a psych minor, so
So
Oh, shit, he's a
already
professional.
a professional. Yeah.
basically that gives me
but
the
I-
ability to judge the people that I come into direct contact with immediately, and then never tell them what I think.
Oh, tell me what you think about me.
I would like to go around in a circle and have Tanner tell us.
Oh yeah, do a
Each and
psyche
every one of
eval.
them.
Psych eval on everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Spoiler alert.
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with clinical depression.
Nice. It's the best one.
It's only clinical.
That goes.
It's
that
fine.
goes all the way around the room. I
Fair enough.
don't have anything yet. Give me some time.
He's working on it.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Just give me like a week.
Do you want me to tell you my diagnosis?
no, not at all.
That just ruins the fun.
That would take all the fun out of it. And then I'm going to skip a few, and I'm going to go straight to narcissist. So
He pointed at himself.
So that brings us to 3 nas. eh.
And
a yeah.
That's solid.
No, not like a yeah, like a.
It's a yeah.
It's a yeah. I think
A
this
tentative,
happens.
Wait, is it a
yeah.
yeet? I got
No, that was the ghost when he's throwing the furniture around.
Yeah.
The priest writing a document like, and he yeeted the dresser across the room.
That was the whitest thing I've ever seen you do.
That's pretty rough.
What, the dab?
No, the whole thing.
No, it's not. It's not a factor of race. It's a factor of age.
Well, Emily, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
No, I had a
I
great
learned
time.
a lot.
Despite us every 3 seconds
Honestly,
interrupting.
I
you.
think we did pretty well for us.
Okay, well.
Did you hear last week's episode?
Well, to be fair, I didn't have 5 pages of notes. I had 3 points, with one being.
Yeah, well, that's why I come prepared.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I learned a lot today that I wasn't expecting to learn. And I like learning stuff. So.
Well, as always, we appreciate everybody listening. Feedback is so important.
We
Shout out to the moms.
Have
Shout out to the
Shout out to
moms.
the moms that are listening.
We gotta come up with a catchphrase for our moms. Like, shout out to the moms is fine, but
What
it's
about
so
just
basic.
sorry, mom?
Sorry,
I have said
sorry,
that
Mom.
so many times this podcast.
It makes sense now.
Just sign out with, and as always, sorry, Mom.
Sorry, Mom, I love you.
Sorry, mom.
I'll call you tomorrow.
So you mentioned an email. We do have
Why don't you slide into our DMs?
channel3pod@gmail.com.
I do have open DMs, unfortunately.
That's for the whole network. But we also have, if you want to suggest a topic, on our website, there's a page where you can submit a form with topic suggestions, which is really cool. What? Yeah, you should check it out. I worked really hard on it.
I'll do it right now.
So, channel3media.com, and then you go to the Y-Files tab, and you can submit topic suggestions, or probably just leave a note about how bad we are.
Or how offensive Tanner is.
That wasn't me this episode.
Is it the number
Bailey's
3
nodding
or
his head.
Yes, the number 3.
Okay.
Channel 3, the number, media.com.
That's a long URL.
Channel, is that the number of the letter?
Channel, the number.
Ah.
Yes. Famously between which 2 numbers, Norman?
Alpha and Tango.
Okay.
Okay.
You can find...
Technically, I guess that would fall between those.
Beta and Delta.
There we go. Continue.
You can find each of us at our own socials. Let's go ahead and start with our guests first.
Oh, I'm just at Avery Lightsey on Twitter.
Oh,
You wanna-
wow, that's...
Throw some memes. There's a census website called How Many of Me, and it tells you how many people with your same name live in the United States, and there are 1 or fewer Avery Lightseys
One
in
or
America. So
I'm
went
not
ahead
convinced
and
about the 1.
claimed that username on every platform I've been on. So
Okay. Oh, well, can't fault you for that.
yeah, it's easy.
Bailey, you want to plug your socials?
At Bam. Oh. At Basil_SSB on Instagram and Twitter. I do not have Twitter right now, but I'll be back eventually.
Yeah, he's taking a
Tea break.
a tea break. It works. I'm at. I can't remember.
Sick.
My...
I'm still Tanner.
Yeah, that's right. I changed it. It's I'm still Tanner. I don't remember my Instagram, but I'll be on the Channel 3 Pod Instagram most of the time.
At Channel 3 Pod.
We also have our
Yes.
the channel or this. We've got Wi-Fi's Pod on
Yep.
Twitter and Instagram.
Yep.
That's true.
I am Ninja Squirrel on everything. NJASQRL on Instagram, Twitter, most importantly Twitch. Norm.
I'm Unhappy Bananas. You can find me, I don't know, just throw it in Google.
How did you come about that name?
Just
again?
throw it on Google.
It was like my League of Legends name.
I don't know
have no
about
idea how
that.
I came up with it. And
Okay.
I just like, I need this for everything.
Yeah, no, it's great.
but yeah,
I
follow-
assumed it was like the one PlayStation recommended for you or
No.
something
You're
like
like,
that.
yeah,
No,
that's the
Xbox
one.
had like Unjust Venus, and I was like, yeah, I'll roll.
Is
with
that you?
That's me.
Yeah.
That's you?
Yeah.
Okay, I've been wondering who that was.
That's me.
Like the longest
Everyone
time.
friend him on Xbox.
But I mean, mostly I post on Instagram like every 3 months.
Twitter
where
every
you can find
5
my tasteful
years or
nudes.
so.
They're
The most
Shout out to the moms. And yeah,
yeah. Thanks for listening, everybody. And we're sorry, moms.
Oh. Is that
Thank you
how we
guys for
close this?
so
Okay.
sorry,
I
mom.
think that should be our closer for now. At least until we come up with something better.
So sorry, mom.